Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to another movie review. Today's movie is Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Now, before we get into this video, if you do like what you see here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel out greatly, and I do truly appreciate it. We are so close to 200 subscribers, guys, and I would love it if we can hit it in the month of February. So let's get into Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Now, I just came right from the movie theater. I saw it first thing Friday morning. I was just too tired to see it Thursday, and Wednesday I was getting over a cold, so I didn't go to the screening for it. So I was like, let me go first thing Friday morning, so that way I can give you guys this review. So, quick synopsis of Birds of Prey. I'm going to get really confused of calling this movie Birds of Prey. We'll get into that later. But quick synopsis: Harley Quinn and the Joker have called it quits, and this is Harley Quinn's big, setting herself free, doing her own thing, I guess you could say. Now, before we get into what worked for me in this movie, I went into this movie without really high expectations. It's a February movie. We know that January through March movies are not really meant to be blockbuster type movies. And so when I go into certain types of movies, especially a comic book movie that got a release date in February, I don't have high hopes for it. In this movie, I just don't know where to start. So let's get into what worked for me. And right off the bat, I don't know if I'm one of the few people, I think I am really, that thinks Margot Robbie's character portrayal as Harley Quinn is really well done. I enjoy watching her on screen as Harley Quinn. I think she embodies a version type of Harley Quinn that we hadn't seen really before. And then, of course, Ewan McGregor. He is a terrific actor. He plays Black Mask in this movie, and he does his own take on Black Mask. And I think I enjoyed his take on Black Mask. He has like this kind of dual persona. It's almost kind of a Two-Face persona, where he seems to be this normal guy, but he lets these voices and people persuade him and influence him, and it just unleashes kind of the Black Mask persona. And I think the only thing that could have been more is I wish we could have seen more of that Black Mask persona, where he was a little bit more of the true type of villain, because for the most part in this movie we don't get to see him as a really true type of villain. So I wish we could have seen more of that. And then one of the other things that really worked for me in this thing is the fight choreography. It was really well done. I enjoyed watching the fight scenes when they broke out and they happened in this movie. It was really well done. And I enjoy that, even seeing some of these actors and actresses and actors that aren't really the physical type. I think they get their chance to shine a little bit in this movie, and each and every one of them gets their little moment. Now let's get into what didn't work for me. And overall, I think I might have enjoyed this movie more if the Harley Quinn cartoon didn't come out on DC Universe, because it's almost along the same vein. They have almost the same storyline. They're both about Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker and how she's dealing with it. And I think the cartoon did a way better job of her dealing with the breakup with Mr. J. And I get it that a cartoon has multiple episodes, they have a longer runtime, they can do more in them. If I use a movie that's trying to compact everything, can't remember, I think this movie is around 2 hours long. And I get it. I just think the story overall that we got with the Harley Quinn cartoon is much better than the story we got with Harley Quinn movie. And that's another thing. The title really kind of angers me and pisses me off a little bit, because this movie really should have been titled Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, because for the majority of this movie it's Harley Quinn. The Birds of Prey are on the outside orbiting, doing their own thing kind of issue. And that's what gets me, is this movie is not Birds of Prey. It's not centered on the Birds of Prey. It's centered on Harley Quinn and her interactions with all these other characters that come together to form the Birds of Prey. So I think they should have just named this Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. And that's another thing with me. This DC hasn't learned that throwing these multiple storylines in together and just blending them in together is not always a good thing. I think if we would have focused on Harley Quinn and her true emancipation from Mr. J, we would have gotten a better movie than what we got. What we got here now is Harley Quinn not even really dealing with leaving or getting tossed out by the Joker. We get her, for the most part, seeing her using the relationship between her and the Joker to protect herself from the big bad guys. And in the first part of this movie, we don't really see her dealing too much. I wish we'd have saw more of her coming to terms with becoming her own self again, which I think the cartoon did better than this movie did. I kind of wish that the big bad in this movie would have been the Joker. We could have seen her dealing with, okay, here's the Joker, he's still out there doing everything that he usually does and doesn't seem to be missing Harley, and we can see Harley Quinn just taking her own, and maybe even taking down the Joker a peg or two. I think that would have been a better movie. The Black Mask, like I said, Ewan McGregor did a great job. I think they kind of wasted the Black Mask, though, because he wasn't really evil or villainous. He ran a nightclub, and then he learns that Harley Quinn, is no longer protected by the Joker, and so he's finally going after her. And there's some other sublines. This isn't spoilery. It's pretty much the setup for this movie. And then, like I said, the Birds of Prey. Montoya was probably one of the weakest in this movie for me. I don't think she really belonged. At least with the Huntress and the Black Canary, I see the connection. I know Montoya is in the comics and she has a big role, but again, I don't think they utilized her well. I think because, again, we get these DC movies that just have this little spin, they try to put everything together, and I get it. They wanted this all-female cast, this to be like this strong female crew going forward, and I think there could have been some other cast choices, some other superhero choices that they could have used. And I get it because they're trying to use the Birds of Prey, why they're picking certain people, but it just didn't work for me. It didn't really gel. I didn't really feel a connection with some of these actors. But I know it's probably going to hit because Bad Boys for Life has been the top box office hit for the last 3 weeks. And so with Birds of Prey really not having any competition with opening weekend, I can definitely see them taking the #1 spot. I'm not going to say Birds of Prey is a bad movie. It does have its entertaining moments. But I think it could have been better. And so with that, Shep Talk is going to give Birds of Prey 2.5 Sheps. I would recommend, if you're looking for something to do as like a matinee or during the day, Birds of Prey is probably going to be a thing. I'm sure I'm going to be in the minority, guys, not the majority, about this movie, because I've been hearing people raving about it, but it just did not work for me, guys. So let me know down in the comments down below. Have you seen Birds of Prey? What did you think? Do you think I hit the mark? Or am I wrong? Let me know down in the comments down below. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.